Hey YouTube, Tychonders there doing another action figure review. This is a bit of a retro review for a figure from 2008. And this is for the G.I. Joe 12-inch scale Grunt from their 12-inch scale line. So before I get down to the figure, I will get on to the packaging. So there you have the G.I. Joe logo in all its glory. Name of the trooper, which is Infantry Squad Leader, codename Grunt. Kind of background with fields and explosions going on behind the figure. Nice big window box packaging. More information about Grunt on the side. And if you flip around to the back of the box, gives a little brief bio. Says, you need the ultimate lightning force for your toughest missions. You need G.I. Joe. This elite team defends the world against the evil Cobra forces. There's a infantry squad leader codename Grunt. Shows the gimmick. He has a firing missile launcher. And then he has a sort of file card. So he has name Graves Robert W. Birthplace Columbus, Ohio. Speciality leading squads on combat and reconnaissance missions, chosen because expert in battlefield tactics and weapons and support. Achievements. Combat situations can easily degenerate into chaos without a solid squad leader. Grunt has the experience to run an operation with precision and order. On one mission, Grunt and his squad had to capture a large force of Cobra troopers. Grunt used his more coordinated squad against a less organized force to cause confusion and misdirection among the enemy. The result, Cobra forces had only one clear choice left: surrender. Commander's notes: extensive knowledge, solid experience, knows and respects the importance of teamwork, and he engineers a squad that runs like clockwork under any situation with no shortage of aggression or ammunition. And then below you have the other figures that were in the way, which is Snow Job, Destro, and Cobra Eel. So, and then below that you have just the Hasbro logo and some of the legalese stuff. So that is it for the box. If I just flip it around and throw it into the background. What's interesting is each background of the boxes. I have a couple of different figures I'm going to be reviewing. Each one has a different background, which is quite nice. Kind of a unique to each character type thing. So before I get on to the figure himself, I'll go on with the accessories he comes with. So he comes with this pouch pre-attached, but it is a separate piece. He has a pistol in it, which has a working holster, and it just has a little peg on the side. He comes with a canteen that's removable. This entire backpack is separate from the figure. You have to clip it over him. One of the pegs is a little bit short on mine, so when I pull it off, it's a little bit tricky to get back on, but it is openable. There is two double pegs on each side of this that strap it into place, and then you can open the backpack and close it down again. Unlike some of the other G.I. Joe backpacks I have, this one's pretty good because it's a solid plastic one. I know a lot of people prefer the material ones, excuse me, but I like the solid one because it gives a sense that there's actually stuff in it, that it's full. Whereas on the like the soft good ones, they kind of tend to drape unless you have something packed inside them, like tissue or something like that. His hat is also a separate piece, the little boon hat. Or is it a boonie hat or boon hat? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But it just clips over his head, which is pretty cool. And then he has his rifle. So he comes with this rifle. It's a reuse of one of the old 90s Hall of Fame, I think it is, rifles. The one I have distinct memory of, it was the silver version of this. I can't remember who it came with. But it has this missile launching gimmick, which is removable, thankfully. It's not built in or part of the, like, it's not non-removable. I'm not sure if it's based on a real world rifle. The magazine isn't removable. The hand grip is actually quite large for the figure, hence it being reused from the 90s. Back then they had a larger body type and had big clunky hands, whereas I think they should have at least reissued it and just remodeled it slightly smaller. But it is a nice looking rifle, and as I said, I don't know if it's based on any real world rifles. I'm sure someone in the comment section who's more familiar with assault rifles might have a name for it. But that is the rifle he comes with. So I picked these guys up off a chap on Instagram. I picked up a bunch of stuff. So these figures were kind of like half plastic, half soft goods. So they hadn't completely transferred over to the way they did them for G.I. Joe Retaliation, which were like the Titans, the current kind of Hasbro 12-inch stuff that they do, which are like the Titans line, where they're just 5 POA. These ones actually still had all their articulation of the previous, but they had solid sculpts for the t-shirts or the upper torsos and stuff like that, and some of them had solid sculpts for the legs. They kind of did a half and half mix where you got some soft good stuff and then different. Now he has the G.I. Joe logo on one shoulder. Unfortunately, and the guy who sold me this didn't even spot it himself, he actually has two left shoulders. Two right shoulders. I thought it could be just as simple as just moving the arm this way to fix it up, but it's not, because of the way the angle is on the joint. So his biceps are at the back of his left elbow, and you can see where the angle is on the elbow. It should, in theory, be that way, so it is two right shoulders, which is something that they missed in manufacturing him. But other than that, he has no other kind of issues. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a logo on this shoulder as well, on the left. It doesn't look like it was intended to be, even on the prototype, but sometimes he used to put the star logo for the G.I. Joe brand on one shoulder and the G.I. Joe logo on the other. So he's one of the guys that are lucky enough to have the articulating hands with the trigger fingers. Some figures that they did from this era, I'm not sure if it's these ones or the ones just before this, in the 2000s, early 2000s, had it was like a rubber grip hand, where it was in a kind of a grip pose. It didn't have a articulating trigger finger, and it was just, you wedged the weapon into it. But these guys from the 2008 and 2009 actually have these kind of grip hands, which are pretty cool, and they're very nicely sculpted arms as well. So they don't have just like plain blank kind of bodies. They actually went all the detail in sculpting. So he has knee joints, a single knee joint with a swivel. He does have boot swivel. He does have articulation in the foot, but it's hindered because he has the boot over it. It's a solid rubber boot, so you don't get much in the way of posing the ankle, but there is an ankle joint there. He can put his legs up, back. He can do the splits. Unfortunately, the buttons tend to pop on his thing. He could probably do splits more if he didn't have the pants on, which I'm not going to be taking off for him. Arms can rotate all the way around. Does have joints to bring the arms up that much, even with it being the same shoulder joint or shoulder piece on both sides. He has waist swivel, not really much in the way of ab crunch. He has a neck joint. It's a dual neck joint. There's actually a joint just at the base of the neck and base of the base of the head and base of the neck. So you can get some good posing, rock side to side, up, down. You can get to a 360 with the head if you want. Head sculpt is really good. He has a scar kind of going down the side of his head, kind of reminiscent of the old Action Man, kind of, or the vintage G.I. Joe, the 60s G.I. Joe. I think they had a battle scar was his thing, and that translated over onto Duke, and then later on it went on to like other figures. Mostly they tended to put it onto all the 12-inch figures, even the ones like Hall of Fame guys like Stalker, Flint, all of them had that kind of battle scar type thing on the side. I said he has this pouch, which is held on by stretchy elastic. I have had a few of the Cobra Troopers from this line, and the elastic on their stuff has strained over time, so their stuffer is loose. But just take out his sidearm and you can see it in his hand, so you can hold it with trigger finger and put it into his hand, so you can hold his pistol. So you can hold the pistol. Unlike some of the other pistols I have with other figures, it doesn't have any movable parts. The ones that came with the Cobra Troopers had a kind of a magazine that you could eject, and this piece kind of moved on it. So there is that. It doesn't have any foot pegs because obviously he's wearing solid boots. You can get him to hold his rifle in nice two-handed poses. Just position the arms first, actually. So you can get him to hold a rifle in two-handed poses pretty well. I'm sure if you're seeing that on camera. So anyway, first scale wise, I'll just bring in my measuring tape. I'll measure him without the hat. So bear with me a moment. I'd have to move my camera up. So there he is, scale wise. He's around 11.5 inches. He's just under the 12-inch mark. But these are designed to be 12-inch figures. Obviously they give a bit of tolerance leeway for the scale, but he is pretty good. And just for a size comparison, since I have next to me, here is the 12-inch scale. Senator from Star Wars. There, he actually stands a little bit taller actually, and that's the Terrence Stamp figure. So you can see the height. So I think they tried to go with more realistic proportions for the G.I. Joe figures from this era. Some of the previous 12-inch figures from the Hasbro line tended to be a little on the chunky. In fact, these are the hands that I'm talking about. That some of the other figures had this with a large, oversized, chunky hand. So you had that, and I'll just chuck his hat back onto him so you can get a good look at the figure and a boonie hat on. So it looks really, really good. I do have other figures and have a few still to arrive, and once I get those I'll do reviews for each one of those as well. So there you go guys, just a quick look back down memory lane for people who might have picked them up. For the G.I. Joe Infantry Squad Leader, codename Grunt, he is quite a good figure. He's actually one of the head sculpts on this wave of figures, or what some of the best head sculpts that Hasbro had done for the G.I. Joe line. Some of them looked fantastic and were dead on the characters they depicted. Grunt here generally has had several different kind of looks over the years, so they kind of probably went with a mishmash of all different ones. But overall he looks like a slightly updated version of the old original 13 figure. So there you go guys, quick video review for the G.I. Joe 12-inch scale Grunt from 2008. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to comment and subscribe to my channel, and please hit the like button to say if you like the video. So cheers guys, hope you enjoyed this.